Alright, boys, we are doing this. Good night, everyone. My name is Bernardo Pridon, and as of today, July 18th, 2024, we had the stream of the new Path of Exile League, Settlers of Calgar. And by the end of the stream, Marx joked about, oh, good luck getting through the patch notes. Maybe someone should do a voiceover of the whole thing, like some audiobook. And although he said that as a joke, Mark, your player base isn't normal. You should already be aware of that. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm gonna read through the whole thing, and I'm gonna take you with me. Now, disclaimers. First, I'm not a professional voiceover artist yet. I'm gonna get there. But as of now, I have very little experience with it. But I am an actor. So I am not strange to, reading materials and displaying something to a possible audience. Now, I am not going to edit the whole thing to cut out the hiccups. Maybe if I trip over some words and such, I'm just gonna have to read it all again because it's way too much stuff for me to record and edit by myself. So bear with me here. And also, I have not read the entire patch note meticulously. I did go through the stuff that interested me the most, mainly like melee changes and such, but I did take a look of overall things. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, content update 3.25, Path of Exile, Settlers of Calgar. The Settler Challenge League. Challenge leagues are a great opportunity for a fresh start in a new economy. All of your old characters and items are still present in the standard and hardcore leagues, but you are encouraged to join the new leagues, complete challenges, and demonstrate your mastery of Path of Exile. In the Settlers Challenge League, help Calguran prisoners to build the town of Kingsmarch and establish trade between Rayclest and their homeland. Denig, Rog, Tuhen, and Gwenin are seeking out resources in Rayclest that can be used to begin town construction and establish a shipping trade route to Calgar. Hire skilled workers to aid you in mining, smelting, disenchanting, farming, and other jobs needed in Kingsmarch. Build a harbor and establish a shipping route between a number of Calguran and Karui ports for trade. Pile your acquired resources onto these ships and send them to a port of your choosing, where your traders will haggle for the best deals. Each port will return specific rewards based on what you send them. The Calgurans have hired Isla, who can help you build a series of Calguran modified map devices at endgame. Hire a few skilled combatants and put them to work running maps you queue into this map device. As your town grows, it will attract more attention, good and bad. Settlers of Calgar features 3 endgame bosses that will close in your operations, wanting a piece of the pie. They might capture and ransom your workers, even your entire ships. You will have to make some tough decisions. We will take them on or pay them off. Wasn't there something about, leaving the workers to their fate? Never mind. For more information about this expansion, check out pathofexile.com/settlers. With 3.25, there are standard, hardcore, solo self-found, and ruthless variations of the Settlers Challenge League available. They have the same core mechanics and items. You can create private league versions of these leagues with mods that make the game harder. The new Settlers Challenge includes a set of 40 new challenges and 8 new challenges in Ruthless Settlers. There are microtransactions rewards for completing challenges that are only obtainable in this league. These rewards will be revealed in an upcoming new post. Alright. New content and features. Added a new strength skill gem, Crushing Feast. Retaliate against a blocked hit by slamming a huge armored fist into the ground in front of you. Added a new strength skill gem, Vengeful Cry. Retaliate against a savage hit with a war cry, taunting all nearby enemies to attack the user. The user and nearby allies gain a buff which grants rage and prevents rage from being lost. Added a new strength support gem, Overexertion. Support melee attacks which can be exerted, causing them to deal more damage for each Warcry exerting them. Cannot modify the skills of minions. Vowel skills and channeling skills cannot be exerted. Added a new strength/dexterity skill gem, Eviscerate. Retaliate against a blocked hit with an arcing slash that releases 2 waves of force. Enemies in front of you can be hit by both waves. Requires a sword or axe and a shield. Added a new strength dexterity skill gem, Swordstorm. Retaliate against a blocked hit with a hail of blades that rains down in front of you. Requires dual wielding melee weapons and deals the damage of both weapons with each hit. Added a new strength/dexterity support gem, Expert Retaliation. Supports retaliation skills, causing them to have more cooldown recovery rate and become usable for longer. Added a new dexterity/strength skill gem, Glacial Shield Swipe. Retaliate against a blocked hit with a sweep of your shield, unleashing a wave of ice in a cone in front of you. Added a new dexterity strength support gem, Rupture. Supports attack skills. Critical strikes which inflict bleeding with supported skills also inflict rupture. Added a new intelligence/strength skill gem, Divine Retribution. Retaliate against a blocked hit with a surge of divine power, causing multiple waves of lightning blasts to expand outward from the target location. This skill cannot be triggered or used by totems, traps, or mines. Added a new Arsenal of Vengeance Keystone passive skill to the southwest of the duelist's starting location. Arsenal of Vengeance provides damaging retaliation skills become usable every 6th hit from enemies instead. Added 60 new armor-based item types, 18 helmets, 18 body armors, 12 gloves, and 12 boots. These can be found in the endgame. The following uniques have been added to the core drop pool: Gratus Signet, Navalia's Inheritance, The Hand of Frisia, and Veruso's Ambition. Added new 15 uniques. Added 5 new divination cards. Added 72 foiled unique item options that the Voidborn Reliquary can yield. Added 179 more foiled Tier 17 Valdos maps options that the Valdos puzzle box can yield. Introduced the Maven's Chisel of Divination, a currency item that improves the quality of map-enhancing divination cards found, replaces other quality types. Introduced the Maven's Chisel of Procurement, a currency item that improves the quality of a map-enhancing item rarity, replaces other quality types. Introduced the Maven's Chisels of Proliferation, a currency item that improves the quality of a map enhancing pack size, replaces other quality types. Introduced the Maven's Chisel of Scarabs, a currency item that improves the quality of a map enhancing scarabs found, replaces other quality types. Jesus Christ. Introduced the Prismatic Oil, which can be used to anoint special passive skills not on the passive skill tree otherwise. We have also added many more passives to this pool. Added 3 new Grandmasters to the Hall of Grandmasters and replaced 2 others. Added icons to monster health bar to display whether or not they're armored. We have also taken the opportunity to examine the armor of different monster types to make sure they are appropriate. Creating a solo self-found character no longer requires you to have previously freed the Scion on your account. Added a slot for stacked decks to the currency stash tab. Oh, let's fucking go! As I was saying, added a number of new small improvements and surprises to the campaign. Where is Brutus gonna be this time? Continued to incrementally improve the sound, art, effects, and environments. Melee improvements. Melee totem skills removal. Melee totem skills have been removed. We decided on this solution rather than simply removing their passive buffs in order to make sure that melee builds are not oriented around set and forget gameplay, and to allow dealing damage yourself with melee skills to be buffed to appropriately rewarding levels. As Mark kindly put during the stream, hit things with your weapon, things die. Based. To compensate, we have buffed the damage on almost every single melee skill, as the majority of this damage growth comes from gem levels. We have also made them cost more mana as they level, but it's still nothing like the mana cost on spells. Please see the skill gem changes section for the full list of these changes. Oh, we're gonna get there. The following gems have been removed and are no longer offered as quest rewards: Ancestral Protector, Ancestral Warchief, Vaal Ancestral Warchief, and Earthbreaker support. Players who have purchased the Iron Maiden and Void Ancestral Warchief microtransaction skill effects will have these removed shortly after the launch of 3.25, and the points spent on these microtransactions will be returned to your account. Sorry. Existing versions of the Forbidden Shackle and replica Dragonflang's Flight unique items with any of these removed gems will now provide another gem. The Dawnstrider unique boots no longer provides 100% increased effect of buffs your ancestor totems grant while active. Buffs from active ancestor totems linger for 4 seconds, or maximum 1 buff from active ancestor totems at a time. It now has socketed slam gems are supported by level 25 Earthbreaker and provide Ancestral Bond. These changes affect existing versions of this item. It now also has 3 to 5% of damage from hits taken from your nearest totem's life before you. Though this change does not affect existing versions of this item. This unique is now the only source of Earthbreaker. The buffs from active ancestor totems linger for 3 seconds totem passive skill mastery has been removed. The large wheel of totem passive skill south of the duelist's starting location has been removed. The Panopticon notable passive skill has been removed, while the Ironwood notable has been moved to be a second notable in the Shamanistic Fury totem cluster. Ironwood no longer provides plus 150 armor per summon totem, or totems gain plus 30% to all elemental resistances. It now provides 40% increased totem life, previously 30%, and totems have 40% additional physical damage reduction. The small entrance passive skill in this cluster now provides 10% increased totem life instead of 5% increased totem replacement speed, and a new small passive skill providing 15% increased totem life, and totems gain plus 16% to all elemental resistances has been added. Jesus Christ, what a soup ladder. The small totem life and physical damage reductions passive skills in the Primal Manifestation cluster now provides totems gain plus 16% of all elemental resistances instead of totems have 10% additional physical damage reduction. The true small totem attack and placement speed passive skills in the Watchtowers cluster now provides 15% increased totem damage instead of attacks used by totems have 5% increased attack speed. Banner rework. Banners have been reworked. Instead of having a reservation cost, they are now free. However, they don't grant a permanent buff. Banners now need to be placed for the effect to be active. However, once placed, they are far more powerful than before. They also automatically deactivate once you leave their area. Additionally, There are new ways to prolong the effects and more ways to invest in them than ever before. A new Bannerman and Renowned Deeds cluster has been added to the southeast of the Duelist's starting location. Bannerman no longer grants 15% increased effect of non-curse auras from skills on enemies, or placed banners also grant 30% increased attack damage to you and allies. It now grants banner buffs linger on you for 3 seconds after you leave the area, and banner skills have 20% increased duration. Renowned Deeds gain plus 30 to maximum valor. A new relying icon cluster has been added to the southwest of the Duelist starting location. Rallying icon causes banner skills to have 15% increased aura effect and causes banners to also grant plus 5% to all elemental resistances to you and allies. A new Defiant Stand cluster has been added to the south of the Marauder starting location. Defiant Stand causes you to gain 3 endurance charges and 3 frenzy charges when you consume maximum valor to place a banner. A new Awe and Terror cluster has been added to the southwest of the Marauder starting location. Awe and Terror provides banners also cause killed enemies to have 20% chance to explode, dealing a tenth of their life as physical damage, and banner skills have 20% increased area of effect. Added a new set of banner passive masteries. Banners also main enemies. Gain 5 valor when you Warcry if able. Remove a random ailment on you when you consume at least 10 valor to place a banner. Recovered 3% life per 5 valor consumed to place a banner. Banners also cause enemies to take 8% increased damage. Hey, that's pretty good. Rage rework. Rage has been made more fundamental and discoverable. Rage now grants 1% more attack damage per rage gained to a maximum of 30%, but no longer inherently grants attack speed or movement speed. You lose 10 rage every 1 second if you have not been hit or gained rage in the last 2 seconds. Previously 1 rage every 0.5 second. So you lose less rage. Many resources of rage now generate rage much more quickly. There is now a shared cooldown preventing you from generating rage on hit from more than 1 hit every 0.5 seconds. A number of rage-related stats had their wording updated to make it more clear what they scale with increased rage effect. Rage effect applies to the damage inherently granted by rage, and other bonuses granted per X rage if you have any. Bonuses while you have a certain amount of rage or other effects that refer to your rage but do not cause rage to grant additional stats are not affected. The Berserker Ascendancy and rage-related skill gems have received changes as a result. These are detailed in their respective sections below. The Chainbreaker Timeless Keystone passive and the Calm Spirit unique gloves have been updated to state their rage regeneration stats do not delay the inherent loss of rage. The Bear's Girdle unique belt no longer has 4 to 6% physical damage per 10 rage. This change affects existing items. It now has plus 10 to maximum rage, previously plus 20. A Divine Orb can be used to obtain this value on existing items. The Chaos Primacy Unique X no longer has gain 1 rage on critical hit with attacks, no more than once every 0.5 seconds. Instead, it now has gain 5 rage on melee hit. That's pretty good. Fuck, that's very good. The Ravenous Passion unique helmet no longer has rage grants cast speed instead of attack speed. This change affects existing items. It now has gain 7 to 10 rage after spending a total of 200 mana, previously 10 to 15. A Divine Orb can be used to make existing items worse. Fuck. Fuck off. The maltreatment X implicit modifier is now gain 3 rage on melee hit, previously plus 10 to maximum rage. The disapprobation X implicit modifier is now gain 4 rage on melee hit, previously plus 15 to maximum rage. The psychotic X implicit modifier is now gain 5 rage on melee hit, previously plus 20 to maximum rage. A new Battle Trance cluster has been added to the northwest of the Marauder starting location. Battle Trance provides plus 10 to maximum rage. A new Vengeance cluster has been added to the southwest of the Duelist starting location. Vengeance provides each rage also grants 1% increased armor and gain 3 rage when hit by an enemy. That's pretty good. A new Savage Intensity cluster has been added to the south of the Marauder starting location. Savage Intensity provides 20% reduced cost of attacks while you have at least 20 rage, and inherent loss of rage is 20% slower. A new Veteran's Wrath cluster has been added to the southwest of the Marauder starting location. Veteran's Wrath provides gain 2 rage on melee hit, and inherent rage loss starts 1 second later. Added a set of new rage passive masteries. Every rage also grants 1% increased stun threshold, 1% increased movement speed per 5 rage, plus 7 to maximum rage, plus 7 to maximum rage, and inherent loss of rage is 20% faster. War cries grant 1 rage per 5 enemy power, up to 5%. 25% increased maximum total life recovery per second from life leech while at maximum rage. Nearby enemies are intimidated while you have rage. Tinctures added to the core game. Oh boy, here we go. Tinctures have been added to the core game with adjusted mechanics. You can place a tincture in one of your belt slots instead of a flask. While a tincture is active, it grants you a powerful buff to your melee attacks, but inflicts mana burn on you, draining your mana at an increasingly rate the longer the tincture has been active. The tincture can be manually deactivated or will automatically deactivate when you run out of mana. You can inherently only have one tincture active at a time. Tinctures also have a cooldown, so once you have deactivated one, no tincture can be activated for a time. Life flasks, tinctures can be magic or unique, but not rare. Like flasks, tinctures can be magic or unique, but not rare. Okay, sorry. NPCs in towns may now have tinctures available to purchase. Okay. Added a new Blood-Soaked Blade Keystone passive skill to the southeast of the Duelist starting location. Blood-Soaked Blade causes tinctures to inflict weeping wounds instead of mana burn, draining your life instead of your mana. Oh, that's gonna be so good to use on hardcore. A new Nature's Concoction cluster has been added to the south of the Ranger's starting location. Nature's Concoction provides flasks adjacent to the applied tincture gain 2 charges when you hit an enemy with a weapon no more than once per second. A new Perfected Formula cluster has been added to the southeast of the Ranger's starting location. Perfected Formula provides 15% chance for tincture to not inflict mana burn and causes tinctures applied to you to have 10% reduced mana burn rate. Okay, so better upkeep. A new Practiced Reapplication cluster has been added to the east of the Ranger's starting location. Practiced Reapplication provides 20% increased tincture cooldown recovery rate. A new Colloidal Mixture cluster has been added to the northeast of the Ranger's starting location. Colloidal Mixture causes tinctures applied to you to have 15% increased effect, and 15% increased effect if you have used a life flask recently. A new Burst of Energy cluster has been added to the northeast of the Ranger's starting location. Burst of Energy causes you to recover 15% of mana when you activate a tincture. Added a set of tincture passive masteries. The first 6 stacks of mana burn applied to you have no effect. 30% increased evasion rating while you have an active tincture. 1% increased flask charges gained per mana burn on you. Flasks adjacent to applied tincture have 10% increased effect when used if you have hit an enemy with a weapon recently. Sorry. Tinctures deactivate when you have 12 or more mana burn. Okay, so this one is to avoid getting like drained on mana. Oh man, I'm looking at the bar here. Oh, we are in for a ride. Retaliation skills. As described above, we have added a number of retaliation skills. These are active skills which require you to meet a certain condition in order to use them. Once you meet that condition, you can unleash devastation on your foes. The counterattack skills Reckoning, Riposte, and Vengeance have been removed. Existing Repulse skill gems are now Glacial Shield Swipe gems. Existing Reckoning skill gems are now Sword Storm gems. Existing Vengeance skill gems are now Crushing Fist gems. Added a new Careful Counterattack cluster to the west of the Templar starting location. Careful Counterattack provides 10% chance to block attack damage and spell damage if you have used a retaliation skill recently. Added a new Crushing Reply cluster to the west of the Marauder starting location. Crushing Reply provides retaliation skills have 50% increased stun duration on enemies, and retaliation skills fortify on melee hit. Added a new Indiscriminate Revenge cluster to the southwest of the Marauder starting location. Indiscriminate Revenge causes retaliation skills to have 30% increased area of effect. Added a new Retaliation wheel to the southwest of the Duelist starting location. The first notable, Flow of Battle, causes retaliation skills to deal 30% increased damage and provides 5 rage on hit, gain 5 rage on hit with retaliation skills. The other notable, Cruel Retort, provides every 4th retaliation skill you use always critically strikes, and retaliation skills have 20% increased speed. Added a new Prepared Response cluster to the southwest of the Duelist starting location. Prepared Response provides 20% chance when you use a retaliation skill for a different retaliation skill to become usable, and retaliation skills become usable for 30% longer. The Shoot passive mastery that causes counterattacks to have 50% chance to debilitate on hit for 1 second has been replaced with a new mastery that provides a 30% chance to avoid being stunned while holding a shield. Added a set of retaliation passive masteries. 80% increased duration of ailments inflicted by retaliation skills. Retaliation skills debilitate enemies for 3 seconds on hit. 20% increased armor for each different retaliation skill you have used in the past 10 seconds. 10% chance when you use a retaliation skill for a different retaliation skill to become usable. 40% reduced costs of retaliation skills. Now replay the past 10 minutes and take a shot every time I say retaliation skill. Endgame improvements. Added a 6th slot to the map device. The 5th map device slot is now unlocked by completing either Maven's Invitation, the Atlas, or by completing a non-Valdol's Tier 17 map. The 6th slot is unlocked when you complete the other encounter. In maps Tier 16 and above, you now have a chance to encounter the Asmiri Wildwood from the Affliction League. Although these woods do not contain NPCs from the Affliction League, Nameless Seer or the King in the Mists. Instead, You now have a chance to find the Nameless Seer lurking in Tier 16 and 17 maps. This NPC will give you a selection of unique items, and you can pick one to take with you for free. The Nameless Seer may also offer to scry a map when you encounter him in Tier 16 maps. Scrying a map allows you to swap the divination cards typically dropped in the current map to another map of your atlas. A specific map cannot be in multiple swaps at the same time. If you want to undo your choice, an orb of scouring can be used on either map part of the swap on your atlas. We have done a big shuffle of which divination cards can be found in each map, which means most maps drop fewer divination cards than before, but don't worry, you can now see this information for yourself. Hovering over or selecting a map on your atlas now displays which divination cards can drop there. You can also type the name of a divination card into the highlight filter of the atlas to display maps that drop a certain card. Added a new fragment, an audience with the king, which grants access to the King in the Mist's boss fight. He will drop a number of uniques that were familiar from that league. This fragment also has been added to the fragment stash tab. He doesn't drop that which was taken though, keep that in mind. The Name Taker, the Flawed Refugee, and the Trickster's Smile unique items are no longer part of the core drop pool and can instead drop from monsters in the Azmiri Wildwood. In maps tier 16 and above, you now have a chance to discover a reflective mist from the Kalandra League. The mist has two outcomes. It could drop a ring or amulet with randomly enhanced or inverted modifier values, or it could provide a reflecting mist item which can be used on an existing ring or amulet to perform the same action. You may now stumble across sentinels on the ground near the start of tier 16 and 17 maps. They work in a similar fashion to Sentinel League, though they aren't items. Click on them and they can be activated in that area at any time. Scarabs, chisels, and horizon orbs now follow the same drop rules as maps. They are consumed proportionately to endgame maps. They do not drop with additional party members present, nor do they scale with bonuses to item quantities on the player. Not that you can get it anymore outside of standard leagues. The intention is to keep the number of these items dropping always proportional to the number of map items dropping. Goddamn. Monsters killed from all leagues and additional content can now drop maps. Previously, most of the monsters were prevented from dropping maps except for bosses or elite monsters. Now all of them can, but they have a map drop penalty. The penalty varies based on how many monsters the league adds and how long the league takes to complete or engage with on average. Fair. Introduce the Scarab Bisection, which allows you to select the Nullify prefixes or Nullify suffixes crafting options on the map device. The Horned Scarab of Awakening no longer provides these crafting options. The Beyond Scarab of the Invasion now also causes rare monsters slain in the area to create additional Beyond portals, previously just unique. The Blight Scarab of Oils has been renamed to Blight Scarab of the Blightheart of Blighted Blight. No, that was just me. Blight Scarab of the Blightheart. It no longer provides Blight Oils found in area are one tier higher. Instead, it now causes Blight encounters in an area to have one Blighted chest. Blight encounters in an area spawn more waves of enemies. Blight chests in an area grow larger and more rewarding the more blighted enemies are slain. Good. Delirium Scarab of Mania now also causes delirium in area to increase 50% faster with distance from the mirror. The Divination Scarab has been renamed to Divination Scarab of the Cloister. It no longer provides 150% increased divination cards found in area. Instead, it now causes an area to contain 8 to 12 additional packs of Duadries Devoted, and it causes Duadries Devoted to have a 1% additional chance to drop a stacked deck. Okay. The Divination Scarab of Curation has been renamed to Divination Scarab of Plenty. It no longer provides 10% more divination cards found in an area per different favored map, or divination card drops in area are replaced by those of your favored maps. Instead, it now causes up to 5 packs of magic monsters in area to drop additional divination cards. Everything right here? Yep. The Divination Scarab of Completion has been renamed to Divination Scarab of Pilfering. It no longer provides divination cards which drop in area have a 20% chance to drop as a full stack instead. It now provides divination cards which drop in area are stolen by the final map boss. Final map boss has increased toughness and deals increased damage the more divination cards they have stolen. And Final Map Boss duplicates all stolen divination cards when defeated. The Domination Scarab of Abnormality has been renamed to Domination Scarab of Apparitions. It now causes an area to contain 2 additional apparition shrines instead of an additional unusual shrine. The Domination Scarab of Teaching has been renamed to Domination Scarab of Evolution. It now causes an area to contain an additional evolving shrine instead of causing shrine buffs in an area to also grant 30% increased experience gained. The Cartography Scarab has been renamed to Cartography Scarab of Escalation. It now provides 10% increased map found in an area for each map modifier affecting the area, instead of providing 50% increased maps found in an area. The Cartography Scarab of Ascension has been renamed to Cartography Scarab of Risk. It now causes an area to have an additional random modifier instead of maps found in the area are a tier higher up to tier 16. The Cartography Scarab of Duplication has been renamed to Cartography Scarab of the Multitude. It now causes an area to contain 8 to 12 additional packs of difficult and rewarding monsters which drop 300% increased maps instead of causing maps found in an area to have a 30% chance to be duplicated. The Harbinger Scarab of Discernment has been renamed to Harbinger Scarab of Obelisks. It no longer causes Harbingers in an area to drop rare currency shards, or to drop a single type of currency shard. Instead, it now causes Harbingers in an area to spawn Empowered Obelisks, and Empowered Obelisks drop currency shards when defeated. The Horned Scarab of Tradition now has all rare and unique monsters in area have dropped items transformed by a reward modifier, previously just rare, and no longer has player modifiers to item rarity and item quantity do not apply in area. The Mysterious Scarab has been renamed to Scarab of Divinity, Original Sin 2. It no longer causes an area to contain 40 to 60 additional clusters of Mysterious Barrels. Instead, it now has an additional rare monster in area will be Pantheon Touched, and apparitions spawned by Pantheon Touched monsters deal 100% increased damage. The Reliquary Scarab has been renamed to Titanic Scarab. It no longer provides 100% increased unique items found in area. Instead, it now provides unique monsters have a 2% increased toughness, damage, rarity, and quantity of items dropped per 1% increased pack size of area. The Reliquary Scarab of Overlords has been renamed to Titanic Scarab of Treasures. It no longer causes unique monsters in area to drop an additional unique item. Instead, it now causes unique monsters in area to have 2 additional rewards and 30% increased toughness. The reliquary Scarab of Vision has been renamed to Titanic Scarab of Legends. It no longer causes an area to contain the Nameless Seer and instead causes unique monsters in area to have 2 additional monster modifiers. The Ritual Scarab of Recognition has been renamed to Ritual Scarab of Wisps. It no longer provides unique enemies slain at ritual altars are. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to reread this one, sorry. The Ritual Scarab of Recognition has been renamed to Ritual Scarab of Wisps. It no longer provides unique enemies slain at ritual altars in area grant 200 more tribute. It instead provides ritual altars in area spawn a Wildwood Wisp, and Wildwood Wisps grant 50% increased tribute gain to nearby players. The Scarab of Wisps now calls monsters in area to have a chance to be empowered by 2,000 Wild Wisps. Previously 1,000. Goddamn. The Sulfite Scarab of Fumes now has monsters affected by enraging fumes have 50% increased quantity. Previously 500. Holy shit, that's a nerf. The Torment Scarab now causes an area to be haunted by 3 additional Tormented Spirits, previously 5. Tormented Spirits in area also now have a 25% chance to be set free when possessed monsters are slain. The following Scarabs can no longer be obtained: Abyss Scarabs of Emptiness, Bestiary Scarab of the Shadow Crow, Betrayal Scarab of Perpetuation, Beyond Scarab of Corruption, Blight Scarab of Bounty, Breach Scarab of the Dreamer, Cartography Scarab of Singularity, Expedition Scarab of the Scald, Legion Scarab of the Sakema, Scarab of Unity, Sulfite Scarab of Greed, and Torment Scarab of Release. Existing items are unaffected. We have also reviewed the limit for how many of each scarab can be used alongside a single map, and have made adjustments where necessary. After socketing your first Voidstone on the Atlas, you can now hover over Tier 14 and higher maps and view what Tier 17 map can be dropped there. Monsters in Tier 17 maps now have less damage and deal less damage. Monsters in Tier 17 maps now have less life and deal less damage, now fitting better into the progression between Pinnacle and Uber Pinnacle bosses. Tier 17 maps are now modifiable only with Chaos Orbs, Val Orbs, and Chisels, previously only Chaos Orbs. They also now drop with a random quality, rather than always dropping with 20% quality. The Union of Souls map modifier can no longer roll on non-Valdos maps, on non-Valdos Tier 17 maps. Exclusive Tier 17 map modifiers now have increased item rarity to quantity ratios more in line with regular map modifiers. The Tier 17 The Tier 17 map modifiers that causes an area to contain additional clusters of highly volatile barrels have been removed. In its place, we have added a few modifiers that provide a chance for rare monsters to fracture on death. That's cool. Double Anointed Amulets can now drop in Blighted Ravaged maps. Monsters in Ultimatum encounters now drop loot once again. Oh. Hordes in Abyssal Depths now drop more items. Some of the beasts from Einhar's Memories or Harvest Beasts have been added to the core pool of bestiary monsters. You also now have a chance to encounter Black Morgan. Genesis Fortification Safe House reward is now a chest of Domination Scarabs. This doesn't apply to Ruthless. You now have a chance to find a Gloom Shrine or Charged Shrine in areas. Divine Shrines are now rarer and have a duration of 20 seconds, previously 45. We have also adjusted the drop rate of Vado's puzzle boxes. Previously, we were adapting its drop rate based on the possible outcomes selected by supporters. So many supporters really wanted Mage Blood, so the box was hardly dropping. Thus, we have drastically increased the drop rate of the box, but reduced the probability of getting chase unique items from it, like Mage Blood. I mean, you give people the option, they're gonna pick the fucking option, man. It is what it is. The following maps have been added to the Atlas: Alleyways, Ancient City, Arachnid Tomb, Armory, Beach, Caldera, Carcass, Chateau, City Square, Colonnade, Colosseum, Coral Ruins, Coves, Crater, Dark Forest, Desert, Dig, Geode, Haunted Mansion, Infested Valley, Leyline, Lighthouse, great movie by the way, Malformation, Marshes, Mesa, Racecourse, Ramparts, Relic Chambers, Scriptorium, Sepulchre, Spider Lair, and Summit. The following maps have been removed from the Atlas: Acid Caverns, Arachnid Nests, Arena, Arid Lake, Arsenal, Barrels. Wait, Arsenal was taken out? See ya, Rebozo! Barrels, Canyon, Conservatory, Crimson Temple, Excavation, Forking River, Frozen Cabins, Grave Through, Iceberg, Lava Chamber, Mineral Pools, Park, Phantasmagoria, Plaza, Primordial Pool, Reef, Shipyard, Shrine, Stagnation, Sunken City, Thicket, Tower, Volcano, Wasteland, Waste Pool, Waterways, and Wharf. The Filed Cathedral is still in. I'm happy. Map tiers and locations have been shuffled, though the pin locations for maps have not changed. Most maps are now initially found at different tier. Some of the map bosses you are required to defeat to upgrade your pantheon have changed as a result of these Atlas changes. Crafting recipes that were previously unlocked in maps have been removed from the Atlas. Crafting recipes that were previously unlocked in maps that have been removed from the Atlas are now found within the other maps currently on the Atlas. Makes sense to me. League improvements. Delirium. The first 15 waves have been removed from the simulacrum. Usually, characters reaching this content were a high enough level that the first waves were tedious and unrewarding. Thank God, Mark. Holy shit. Holy fuck, Mark. That was beautiful. We have also added more opportunities to obtain specific unique items such as voices by defeating the bosses as you complete waves. Ritual. Corpses that you can use to raise as specters can now be found as a reward in Ritual. These corpses have been rebalanced to be appropriate for the core game compared to their debut. Sorry. These corpses have been rebalanced to be appropriate for the core game compared to their debut in Affliction League. The debut? Fuck it, whatever, doesn't matter. The lowest tier ritual bases cannot be found in maps, and the highest tier can only be found in maps with area level of 83 or higher. Very good. The Archdemon Crown implicit modifiers is now -2 to level of socketed support gems and +2 to level of socketed skill gems, instead of socketed skills apply fire, cold, and lightning exposure on hit, and -10 to all elemental resistances. The Brimstone Thread's implicit modifier is now 50% increased stun and block recovery and 20% reduced stun threshold, replacing +4 to 5% chance to block attack damage, and you take 20% of damage from blocked hits. The Debilitation Gauntlets have been renamed to Thwarting Gauntlets. The implicit modifier is now plus 5 to 6% chance to block attack damage, and you take 10% of damage from blocked hits. This replaces the previous exerted attacks deal 40 to 50% increased damage, and Warcry skills have plus 2 seconds to cooldown. The Dream Quest Slippers implicit modifiers now 10% reduced movement speed and 45 to 50% increased cooldown recovery rate of movement skills, previously 30 to 40. The Sinistro gloves have been renamed to Trap Setter gloves. They no longer provide 25% reduced attack damage with main hand and 40 to 50% increased attack damage with offhand and an implicit modifier. Instead, they now provide 30% reduced cooldown recovery rate for throwing traps and cause trap skills to have 20 to 25% increased skill effects duration. The Penitent Mask implicit modifier now provides plus 4 to maximum chaos resistance, plus 4% to maximum chaos resistance instead of plus 2 to 3 to maximum fortification. God damn, this bar hasn't moved whatsoever. What the fuck? What have I done? Alright. Atlas passive tree changes. The Back to Basics Atlas Keystone passive has been removed from the Atlas passive tree. The Unending Nightmare Keystone Atlas passive now has Delirium in your maps has double difficulty scaling with distance from the mirror. This change does not apply to Ruthless. The Pact with Energy notable The Packed with Energy notable Atlas passive skill now causes you to gain Sulfite Intoxication for each Voltaxic Sulfite vein or chest found when you interact with these in your maps. Each stack of Sulfite Intoxication grants 35% increased damage, 15% increased movement speed, and plus 1% to all maximum elemental resistances. Sulfite Intoxication lasts 60 seconds. Okay, so benefits Zoomer builds a lot. Zoomy builds a lot. The Unrelenting Torment notable Atlas passive skill no longer provides 30% more quantity of items dropped by possessed monsters in your map. Instead, it now has tormented spirits in your maps are more likely to be less common varieties. Ruthless is not affected by this change. The Pillage and Plunder notable Atlas passive now uses League rarity instead of its own multiplicative rarity stat. It now has 25% increased rarity of items from defeated syndicate members in your maps per equipment item they have, previously 20% more. The three small Atlas passives in the Suns cluster now provide your maps have a 10% chance to be haunted by an additional tormented spirit, instead of 20% increased quantity of items dropped by possessed or touched monsters in your maps. The small Atlas passive prior to artifacts of the Vaal now provides incursions in your maps have 5% increased pack size instead of 5% increased quantity of items dropped in incursions in your maps. The three small Beyond Demon item quantity Atlas passives now calls Beyond Demons in your maps to have 20% increased chance to be followers of Gore, Baydot, or Katash, instead of providing 5% increased quantity of items dropped by Beyond Demons in your maps. Damn, they're really gutting the drop rates, huh? Oh well. The Answered Appeals notable Atlas passive now has unique monsters slain at ritual altars in your maps grant 100% more tribute. Hey, that's pretty good. The Spars on the Wind notable Atlas passive has been replaced with the new Templar Ingenuity notable. This provides Blight towers in your maps can be salvaged after the Blight encounter. What? Higher tier towers grant better salvage rewards, and Salvaged rewards are important for each different tower type built during encounter. The small Atlas passive at the entrance of this wheel no longer provides maps found in your maps have 1% chance to have an area contains a blight encounter enhancement modifier and now has blight encounters in your maps spawn 6% more non-unique monsters, previously 4. The distilled fungus notable Atlas passive has been replaced with new fungal horizons notable, which causes blight chests in your map to have 60% more chance to contain blighted maps, and completing a blight encounter in your maps grant all players blight reach. Blight reach grants a chance for maps found in blah, Blight Reach grants a chance for maps found to drop as blighted maps instead. The 4 small Atlas passives in this cluster now provide blight chests in your maps have 10% more chance to contain blighted maps instead of blighted bosses in your maps have 25% chance to add an additional reward. The epidemiology notable Atlas passive now causes blight chests in your map to have a 20% fuck you Malwarebytes. The The epidemiology notable Atlas passive now causes blight chests in your maps to have a 20% chance to be openable again instead of the 80% more chance to contain blighted maps. Hey, that's pretty cool. The Blight Spawn notable Atlas passive no longer provides blight chests in your maps have 10% chance to contain an oil extractor, or oils found in your maps have 25% chance to be 1 tier higher. Instead, it now provides blight bosses in your maps have 10% chance to add an additional reward chest when defeated, and 1 lane of blight encounters in your maps is guarded only by blight bosses. The 4 small Atlas passives in this cluster now provide blight bosses in your maps have 5% chance to add an additional reward chest when defeated, instead of blight chests in your maps have 5% increased chance to contain blighted maps or oils. I didn't make sense of any of that, man. I just read it. Holy shit. Monster increase item rarity and quantity. Oh boy. Here we go. The way that quantity and rarity of items dropped from extra content has been changed. Generally, we have added items, quantity or rarity bonuses to a number of mechanics, such as essences or delirium. On top of that, we have added drops back to some leagues where it wasn't present before, like Ultimatum. In general, the philosophy here is that if you are killing monsters, you get loot, and if they are more difficult, you should get more and better loot. Holy fuck, praise be, Mark! A major change we have made alongside the above is that we have changed a lot of the quantity and rarity bonuses on monsters to prevent things multiplying out of control at the very top end. There were cases that were utilized by fewer than 100 players total in a league, and they were able to yield tens of thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands of unique items dropping in every map, while not even playing in a party, and such had a monopoly of the unique item market. If you were wondering why many T0 uniques reduced so drastically in value during Necropolis League, it was due to this. 8 Divine Headhunter, man. and here I thought I was getting like, oh man, this super cheap Headhunter buying for 50 Divines back in Affliction. Holy shit. This wasn't them exploiting a game mechanic, this was just the maximum capacity of rewards. By us changing this, it severely limits the runaway cases without affecting the experience of average users, or even above average users at all. It is very much still intended that you can push the limits and push the rewards and difficulty to content. Sorry, it is it is very much still intended that you can push the rewards and difficulty of content to it feeling excessive without having to sacrifice the integrity of the league's economy at the same time. Honestly, props to the balancing team on this one because it's a very tough nut to crack. Like, how do you nerf the extremely autistic top 100 players that manage to take out this amount of juice without fucking over the vast majority at the end of the pipeline? You know what I'm saying? Props to the team. It was all things considered, it was an elegant solution. Player increased item quantity. Item quantity bonuses on all character. Sorry. Item quantity bonuses on all character items have been removed, though this will not affect existing items in standard leagues. Magic Find is intended to be another axis on your gear you can scale once you have achieved the power you want. With item quantity being only available on unique items, this meant that if you wanted to get the most out of it, you had to be playing a very specific build. We still want people to be able to invest into Magic Find, but now only through item rarity. This can be obtained on a number of rare item slots and by a much larger number of builds. Nice. The Bisco Scholar unique amulet has been temporarily disabled. Divination cards that awarded this unique item have also been disabled, and existing items cannot currently be turned in. The Ascetic unique amulet can no longer be obtained. The Sadima's Touch unique gloves no longer provide 5 to 10% increased quantity of items found. Instead, they now have 5 to 15% increased rarity of items found. The Perandus Blazon unique belt no longer provides 6 to 8% increased quantity of items found. Instead, it now has 10 to 12% increased rarity of items found. The Bisco's Leash unique belt no longer has 5% increased quantity of items found. Instead, it now has plus 10 to 15 to all attributes. The Divination Distillate unique flask no longer has 8 to 12% increased quantity of items found during effect. Instead, it now has 30 to 50% increased rarity of items found during effect. It also now provides plus 10% to elemental resistances during effect, previously plus 50%. Existing items can be updated to this new value with a Divine Orb and a Side of Regret. Existing items can now be updated to this new value with a Divine Orb and a Side of Regret. Fuck off, Mark. I was like, wait, what does an Orb of Regret has to do with any of this? The Thieves' Torment unique ring no longer has 10 to 16% increased quantity of items found. Instead, it now has 20 to 30% increased rarity of items found. The Centauri's Answer unique shield no longer has 4 to 8% increased quantity of items found. The Goldworm unique boots no longer have 14 to 20% increased quantity of items found. Instead, they now have 20 to 40% increased rarity of items found. The Greed's Embrace unique body armor no longer has 10 to 15% increased quantity of items found. Instead, it now has 100% increased rarity of items found, previously 30 to 50%, and minus 20 to minus 10% to lightning resistance, previously minus 20. The Pariah unique ring no longer has 15% increased quantity per white socket. Instead, it now has 60% increased rarity of items found per white socket. Holy fuck. The Ventor's Gamble unique ring no longer has minus 10 to 10% in minus 10 to plus 10% increased quantity of items found. Instead, it now has minus 15 to plus 15% increased mana reservation efficiency of skills. I think this just made the item far more expensive on a good roll. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is very good. What? The Wind Ripper unique bow no longer has 15% increased quantity of items dropped by slain frozen enemies. Instead, it now has 30% increased rarity of items dropped by frozen enemies. They still have to be frozen though. The Spine-Fused Talisman implicit modifier is now plus 12 to 18% to damage over time multiplier instead of 6 to 10% increased quantity of items found. This change also affects the Eyes of the Great Wolf Talisman. Influenced and corrupted modifiers that provide increased quantity can no longer roll. Increased rarity of items found can no longer roll on jewels or appear as an implicit modifier on synthesized jewels. The Discerning Taste Timeless Jewel Notable now grants 12% increased mana reservation efficiency of skills instead of 40% increased rarity of items found. Pretty good. Pretty good. Holy fuck, that was... I imagine that was awful to read, to hear. I guarantee you it was just as bad to read. Player balance. Corpses spawned by the Desecrate and Corpse Walk skills now have a flat 15% chance to match your specters rather than a 15% chance on top of being added to the main pool of corpse varieties that can be picked from. These spectral corpses are now unusable for most purposes and can only be used by minion skills such as Raise Spectre or Bone Offering. Spectral corpses have a visual effect applied to them to help differentiate them from other corpses. Spectral corpses can only spawn if you have the Raise Spectre skill. Itemized corpses now spawn spectral corpses. Player spawn corpses are no longer affected by modifiers on maps. So life values will probably get finicky or something. Endurance, man, this minion stuff I will leave to Gazi to fuck around with. I don't understand a fucking thing about minions, dude. Back to it. Endurance charges on players and minions no longer grant 4% to all elemental resistances per endurance charge. They now instead grant 4% additional elemental damage reduction per endurance charge. Let's fucking go, man. Turn into a goddamn fucking brick wall. Ward is now instantly restored after 2 seconds previously 4. Ward viable! Ward viable now! Get your wards here! Dual wielding now inherently grants plus 20% chance to block attack damage and 10% more attack speed, previously plus 15%. Good. Skills that use the basic melee strike animation now have a more consistent swing speed rather than the first swing being slower than the second swing. Nice. Player minions are no longer targetable by enemies while the player has the grace period buff. Good. You can no longer be stunned while performing a Vial skill before the contact point has been reached. You cannot be stunned while performing the spell animation of Vial's Might, and you cannot be stunned while performing Vial Breach. Alright. Skill gem changes. This one is gonna be a doozy to read, man. Preemptive water drinking. Stay hydrated, boys. You too, Mark. And Jonathan. The Divine Blessing support has been removed, and existing versions of this item will be deleted upon logging in after the launch of 3.25. Existing Forbidden Shackle items will have the support replaced by Rupture, while existing Hungry Loops will be replaced by Eternal Blessing. March of the Legion is unaffected by these changes and is now the sole source of this support. Okay. The following skills no longer have the physical tag: Blade Flurry of Incision, Cleave, Cleave of Rage, Cyclone, Cyclone of Tumult, Lancing Steel of Spraying, Perforate of Duality, Shrapnel Ballista, Split Arrow, Sweep, Val Blade Fury, Val Cleave, and Val Cyclone. Multi-strike support and Awakened multi-strike support now describe that they cannot support travel skills, rather than every travel skill stating they cannot be supported by multi-strike. They also now describe that they cannot support retaliation skills. Take a shot. Some attack skills that can be used ranged or melee have had their weapon requirements split between the base gem and their transfigure gem. Okay. The Frenzy skill gem now requires a bow or wand, while Frenzy of Onslaught requires a melee weapon or unarmed. The Elemental Hit skill gem now requires a melee weapon, while Elemental Hit of the Spectrum skill requires a bow or wand. The Puncture skill gem now requires a bow, while the new Puncture of Shaking Transfigure gem requires a dagger, claw, or sword. The elemental arrows fired from Prismatic Blink or Mirror Arrow clones now correctly use skill damage conversion, 100% fire, cold, or lightning. This means that other sources of non-skill conversion, such as Unholy Might, the elemental arrows deal entirely 100% elemental damage instead of 50% elemental plus 50% chaos damage, assuming using a physical bow and no other sources of flat added damage. The elemental arrows fired from Prismatic Blink or Mirror Arrow clones now only deal damage to the chosen element, similar to Elemental Hit. Absolution now has 180% effectiveness of added damage gem at level 1, scaling up to 200% at gem level 20, previously 20 at all gem levels. Absolution of Spiring now has an 180 effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 200% at gem level 20, previously 200% at all gem levels. Ancestral Cry no longer grants a buff which gives you bonus armor and melee range. Instead, the user and nearby allies gain a buff that grants elemental resistances. The buff grants plus 5% to all elemental resistances per 5 power and plus 1% to all maximum elemental resistance per 10 power and can count a maximum of 30 power. Now has a base duration of 2.5 seconds at gem level 1, previously 4, scaling to 3.4 seconds at gem level 20, previously 4.9. Armageddon Brand now has 180% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 200% at gem level 20, previously 200% at all gem levels. Armageddon Brand of Volatility now has 330% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 370% at gem level 20, previously 370% at all gem levels. I think I didn't read it, the last one. Armageddon Brand of Recall now has 270% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 300% at gem level 20, previously 300% at all gem levels. Artillery Ballista now has a mana cost of 9 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 11. Artillery Ballista of Cross-Strafe now has a mana cost of 9 at a gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 11. Artillery Ballista of Focus Fire now has a mana cost of 9 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 11. Bane now deals 59.3%. Bane now deals 59.3 base kills damage per second at gem level 1, previously 45.7, scaling up to 1075.5 at gem level 20, previously 895.6. Good buff. Good buff for Bane. Bane of Condemnation now deals 59.3 base kills damage per second at gem level 1, previously 45.7, scaling up to 1075.5 at gem level 20, previously 895.6. This will probably not bring Bane back into like an actual meta of endgame build because the roof is still very low, but maybe be enough for a League Start build again. Maybe. Battle Maid's Cry no longer grants a buff which boosts critical strike chance and allows attacks to benefit from increases to spell damage. Instead, the user and nearby allies gain a buff that boosts critical strike chance. The buff grants 0.5% plus 0.5% chance to critical strike chance per 5 power and can count a maximum of 25 power. Now has a base duration of 2.5 seconds at gem level 1, previously 5, scaling up to 3.4 at gem level 20, previously 5.9. Berserk no longer provides more damage with attacks, no more attack speed, more movement speed, or less damage taken. It now provides 40% increased rage effect at gem level 1, scaling up to 59% at gem level 20. It also no longer increases the size of your character. Oh, come on, man. Time to get big, get swollen. Blade Flurry no longer has added physical damage at all gem levels. It now has a 61% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 32%. It's scaling up to 111% at gem level 20, previously 49%. It now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, scaling up to 6 at gem level 20, previously 4 at all gem levels. Blade Flurry of Incision no longer has added physical damage at all gem levels. Oh, shit. Wait, shit. It now has 58% increased effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 32%. Is scaling up to 99% at level 20, previously 49. Now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, scaling up to 6 at gem level 20, 4 at all gem levels. Blade Storm now has a mana cost of 10 at gem level 1, scaling up to 14 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Holy fuck, that's a steep increase. Now has 159% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 105%, scaling up to 291% at gem level 20, previously 150. Holy fuck. Blade Storm of Uncertainty now has a mana cost of 10 at gem level 1, scaling up to 14 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 189% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 125%. Is scaling up to 347% at gem level 20, previously 180%. Jesus fucking Christ. Blast Rain now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, previously 8, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, unchanged. Blight now deals 5.9 base chaos damage per second at gem level 1, previously 3.9, scaling up to 51.9 at gem level 20, previously 284. Blight of Atrophy now deals 6.9 base scales damage per second at gem level 1, previously 3.9, scaling up to 351.9 at gem level 20, previously 284. Blight of Contagion now deals 9.7 base scales damage per second at gem level 1, previously 8.5, scaling up to 704.3 at gem level 20, previously 612.2. Bone Nova, granted by Ulnatal's Embrace Unique X, now has 100% effectiveness of base damage, previously 100%. Bone Shatter now has a mana cost of 9 at gem level 1, scaling up to 12 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. No longer has plus 0.2 meters to melee strike range, now has 231% increases now has 231% effectiveness of base damage and added damage at gem level 1, previously 200%. Is scaling up to 338% at gem level 20, previously 250%. Bone Shatter of Carnage now has a mana cost of 9 at gem level 1, scaling up to 12 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. Now has 336% effectiveness of base damage added at gem level 1, previously 125, scaling up to 620% at gem level 20, previously 275%. Bone Shatter of Complex Trauma now has a mana cost of 9 at gem level 1, scaling up to 12 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. All gem levels now deal 8% more damage per trauma, up to 200%, previously had no cap. Now has 231% effectiveness of base damage and added damage at gem level 1, previously 200%, scaling up to 338% at gem level 20, previously 250%. Burning Arrow. No. Burning Arrow no longer has added fire damage to attacks against ignited enemies at all gem levels. It now has 280% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 200, scaling up to 420. Blaze it. Man, this has to be on purpose. This has to be on purpose. Come on, dude. 420, blazing arrow, burning arrow. Come on, man. Scaling up to 420% at gem level 20. Previously 300%. Now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 14 at gem level 20, previously 12. Burning Arrow of Vigor now has a mana cost at gem level 1, now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 14 at gem level 20, previously 12. Call to Arms has been renamed to Auto Exertion. It now reserves 15% mana per supported Warcry to cause those Warcries to be repeatedly triggered. Auto Exertion support now can support multiple Warcries and no longer causes Warcries to share cooldowns. It now grants supported skills 0 to 19% increased cooldown recovery rate. Previously 30 to 11% reduced cooldown recovery rate. And now has supported Warcries do not grant buffs or charges to your allies. It also now cannot support retaliation skills. Quality now grants supported skills 0 to 10% increased cooldown recovery rate. Previously 0 to 5%. Okay, I don't know about this change. Depending on the mana reservation stuff and how it plays it. Like, it's automation, but it's really gonna depend on how available is the mana for the melees. We were already like sketch on mana. We were gonna have to see it. Or no, probably ducks will have something about it. Caustic Arrow of Poison no longer has added chaos damage at all gem levels. It now has 72% effectiveness of base and added damage at level 1, previously 55%, scaling up to 91% at gem level 20, previously 70%. Dude, my diaphragm started acting up a little bit. What the fuck? Chain Hook. It now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, previously 8, scaling up to 2 to 8 at gem level 20, unchanged. No longer grants gain 1 rage if this skill hits an enemy. Instead, it now gains 2 rage on attack hit. It now has 171% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 115%. Scaling up to 393% at gem level 20, previously 169%. Nice. Charged Dash now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, scaling up to 6 at gem level 20, previously 4 at all gem levels. Now has 143% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 95%, scaling up to 264% at gem level 20, previously 121%. Just grab some water before I start with Cleave. Cleave, Chris Wilson's beloved, no longer has added physical damage to all gem levels. It now has 179% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 125%. Is scaling up to 511% at gem level 20, previously 237. Holy shit! Now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Cleave of Rage now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. No longer grants gain 1 rage if this skill hits any enemies. Instead, it now has gain 2 rage on attack hit. Very good. Cobra Lash no longer has added chaos damage at all gem levels. It now has 125% effectiveness of base and added damage at level 1, previously 75%, scaling up to 205% at gem level 20, previously 125. Now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, unchanged, scaling up to 8 at gem level 20, previously 7. Code Snap now has 220% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 320% at gem level 20, previously 320% at all gem levels. Cold Snap of Power now has 220% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 320% at gem level 20, previously 320% at all gem levels. Consecrated Path now has a mana cost of 9 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 227 effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 150%, scaling up to 417. Oh man, we were so close. We were this close to greatness. Come on, what is 3% more damage, Mark? Come on, dude. Work with me here. Scaling up to 417% at gem level 20, previously 213%. Consecrated Path of Endurance now has a mana cost of 9 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 166% effectiveness. Execute Order 166. Effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 110, scaling up to 305% at gem level 20, previously 180%. Crackling Lance now has 120% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 165% at gem level 20. Previously 165% at all gem levels. Crackling Lance of Branching now has 190% effectiveness of added damage at level 1, scaling up to 260% at gem level 20. Previously 260% at all gem levels. Crackling Lance of Disintegration now has 220% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 300% at gem level 20. Previously 300% at all gem levels. Creeping Frost now has 90% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 130% at gem level 20. Previously 120% at all gem levels. Oh, it got a buff. Cyclone no longer has added physical damage to all gem levels. It now has 61% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 44, is scaling up to 111% at gem level 20, previously 59%. Now has a mana cost of 2 at gem level 1, scaling up to 3 at gem level 20, previously 2 at all gem levels. I wonder how's that gonna work with mana. Cyclone of Tumult no longer has added attack physical damage at all gem levels. It now has 61% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 44%, scaling up to 111% at gem level 20, previously 59%. Now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, scaling up to 6 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Defiance Banner is no longer a reservation skill and has none of its previous stats. You must gain Valor from melee combat to use this skill, which will consume all Valor to place a banner with an aura. The aura will be larger and more powerful the more Valor was consumed. The banner lasts for a duration but will end early if you leave the aura or use the skill again while it's active. While you have no placed banner, you can gain Valor. Now has a base duration of 10 seconds and a base radius of 2.4 meters. Provides 5% more area of effect and 5% more aura effect per Valor consumed at gem level 1, both scaling up to 10% at gem level 20. Banner grants 8% increased movement speed, plus 8% chance to suppress spell damage to you and your allies. Also grants -5 damage taken from suppressed hits to you and your allies at gem level 1, scaling up to -12 at gem level 20. I don't know if this is actually just flat, like -5 or like -12 flat damage, or it's -12%. Because if it's like -12, it's really fucking bad. And if this is a typo and it's -12%, it's really fucking strong. Desecrate. The maximum level of corpses spawned is now level 20 at gem level 1, unchanged, scaling up to 80 at gem level 20, previously level 100, so nerf. Determination now provides you and nearby allies gain 90 additional armor at gem level 1, previously 179. Holy shit, it's half. Is scaling up to 1026 at gem level 20, previously 2051. Jesus Christ, that's a nerf. But then again, they made armor, like the base items, better, so I think it either evens it out or we end up on a profit. I don't know yet. Dominating Blow now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 249% effectiveness of base and added 249% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 165%, scaling up to 458% at gem level 20, previously 238%. Just checking here. Alright? Alright. Dominating Blow of Inspiring. Now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1. Sorry. Okay. At gem level 1. Scaling up to 10 at gem level 20. Previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 249% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1. Previously 165%. Scaling up to 458% at gem level 20. Previously 238%. Doriani's Touch, granted by the Doriani's Fist unique gloves, now has a mana cost of 14 at level 20, previously 8. It also now has 1,000% increased, 1,000% effectiveness of added damage, previously 600%. Let's fucking go. Doriani's Touch build. Let's do this. Double Strike. No longer has physical damage added against bleeding enemies at all gem levels. It now has 143% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 91%. Is scaling up to 409% at gem level 20, previously 140%. Holy fuck, that's a massive buff. Now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. Double Strike of Impaling now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. Now has 104% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 91%, scaling up to 409% at gem level 20, previously 140. Double Strike of Momentum now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. Now has 69%, nice, effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 60, scaling up to 196% at gem level 20, previously 95%. Dread Banner no longer has the physical tag, is no longer a reservation skill, and has none of the previous stats. You must gain valor from melee combats to use this skill, which will consume all valor to place a banner with an aura. The aura will be larger and more powerful the more valor was consumed. The banner lasts for a duration, but will end early if you leave the aura or use the skills again while it is active. While you have no placed banner, you can gain valor. Now has a base duration of 10 seconds and a base radius of 2.5 meters. Provides a 5% more area of effect and 5% more aura effect per valor consumed at gem level 1, both scaling up to 10% at gem level 20. Banner grants plus 4% chance to block attack damage to you and your allies. The banner also causes you and allies to recover 9 life when blocking at gem level 1, scaling up to 34 at gem level 20. Now has a mana cost of 15 at gem level 1 and 19 at gem level 20. I don't know if I like this one. I don't think I like this one. Dual Strike now has a mana cost of 8 at level 1, scaling up to 14 at gem level 2. Previously 5 at all gem levels. Now has 155% effectiveness of base and added damage at level 1. Previously 125. Up to 442% at gem level 20, previously 244. Dual Strike of Ambidexterity now has a mana cost of 8 at level 1, scaling up to 14 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. Now has 126% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 125%, scaling up to 360% at gem level 20, previously 244%. Earthquake, we get into the slams now. Earthquake now has a mana cost of 10 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 10 at all gem levels. Now has 143% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 85%, scaling up to 229% at gem level 20, previously 150. Earthquake of Amplification now has a mana cost of 10 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20. Previously 10 are all gem levels. Now has 143% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 85, scaling up to 229% at gem level 20, previously 150%. Aftershock now deals 5% more damage with ailments per 0.1 seconds duration, previously 6%. Earth Shatter now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has a 171% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 125%, scaling up to 393% at gem level 20, previously 200%. Earth Shatter of Fragility now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 136% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 100, scaling up to 314 at gem level 20, previously 150%. Earth Shatter of Fragility now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 136% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 100%, scaling up to 314% at gem level 20, previously 150%. Earth Shatter Earth Shatter of Prominence now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 150% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 110%, scaling up to 346% at gem level 20, previously 170%. 70%. Why do I taste something metallic? Elemental Hit now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 11. Now has 26 to 49 added fire damage, 21 to 40 Now has 26 to 49 added fire damage, 21 to 40 added cold damage, and 4 to 80 added lightning damage at gem level 1, previously 22 to 40, 18 to 33, and 3 to 67, respectively. These scale up to 748 to 1,389 added fire damage, 609 to 1,133 added cold damage, and 118 to 2,287 added lightning damage at gem level 20. Previously 480 to 801. Previously 480 to 891, 391 to 726, and 75 to 1,467, respectively. Elemental Hit of the Spectrum. God damn it. Now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 11. Now has 6 to 12 added cold damage at gem level 1, previously 6 to 11. Now has 182 to 337 added fire damage, 147 to 275 added cold damage, and 29 to 600 to 555 added lightning damage at gem level 20. Previously 166 to 309, 136 to 252, and 26 to 590, respectively. Jesus Christ, I need much more water. How am I on the... Okay, it has moved somewhat. Jesus fuck. Serious business. Enduring Cry no longer grants a brief burst of life regeneration or a buff which grants resistances and physical damage reduction based on your endurance charges. Instead, The user and nearby allies gain a buff that grants life regeneration. The buff grants 2% of life regenerated per second per 5 power and can count a maximum of 25 power. The base duration is now 2.5 seconds at gem level 1, scaling up to 3.5 at gem level 20. Previously 2 at all gem levels. Additionally, nearby allied players are now granted endurance charges as well as the user. Okay. Ensnaring Arrow now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, previously 8, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, unchanged. Ensnared enemies no longer always count as moving. Okay. Essence Drain. Oh, because of like bleed purposes. Okay. Essence Drain now deals 12 to 18 chaos damage at gem level 1, previously 9 to 13, scaling up to 776 to 1164 at gem level 20, previously 644 to 966. It now deals 42.2 base chaos damage per second at gem level 1, previously 31.2, with values of 1818.1 at gem level 20, previously 1509.4. Now has 160% effectiveness of added damage at all gem levels, previously 140%. Mega buffs to Essence Drain. Essence Drain of Desperation now deals 12 to 18 chaos damage at gem level 1, previously 9 to 13, scaling up to 776 to 1164 at gem level 20. Previously 644 to 966. It now deals 91.6 base chaos damage per second at gem level 1, previously 67.7, with values of 3969.4 at gem level 20, previously 3287.2. Now has 160% effectiveness of added damage at all gem levels, previously 140%. These are some big numbers, holy shit. Ethereal Knives now has 190% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 200 at gem level 20, previously 220% at all gem levels. Ethereal Knives of Lingering Blades now has 190% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 220 at gem level 20. Previously 220% at all gem levels. Same shit for Ethereal Knives of the Massacre. Come on, fuck it. Explosive Arrow now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, previously 8, scaling... I can't, my morals tell me I have to. Ethereal Knives of the Massacre now has a 190% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 220% at gem level 20, previously 220 at all gem levels. There we go. Explosive Arrow now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, previously 8, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, unchanged. Oh, thank fuck, because Explosive Arrow with Ballista was already very strong. Explosive Concoction now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 9 at gem level 20, unchanged. Now has 116 to 173 added fire damage at gem level 1, previously 96 to 145, scaling up to 1203 to 1805 at gem level 20, previously 1003 to 1505. Now deals 45 to 68 added cold damage if charges were consumed from a Sapphire Flask at gem level 1, previously 37 to 57, scaling up to 466 to 707 at gem level 20, previously 389 to 589. Also now deals 10 to 104 added lightning damage if charges were consumed from a Topaz Flask at gem level 1, previously 8 to 87, with values of 105 to 1083 at gem level 20, previously 88 to 903. Explosive Concoction of Destruction now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 9 at gem level 20, unchanged, deals 36 to 64 added cold damage if charges were consumed from a Sapphire Flask at gem level 1, previously 30 to 45, scaling up to 372 to 564 at gem level 20, previously 310 to 469. Nice. It also now deals 8 to 83 added lightning damage if charges were consumed from a Topaz Flask at gem level 1, previously 7 to 69. Nice, very nice, with values of 84 to 864 at gem level 20, previously 7 to 719. I think Explosive Concoction of Destruction became a nice gem. Or was, whatever, fuck it. Math live, never. Not once. Exsanguinate now has 150 effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 270% at gem level 20. Fireball now has 260 effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 370% at gem level 20. Previously 370 at all gem levels. Firestorm now has 60% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 80% at gem level 20, previously 80% at all gem levels. Firestorm of Meteors now has 280% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 370 at gem level 20, previously 370% at all gem levels. Firestorm of Pelting now has 95% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 370% at gem level 20, previously 120% at all gem levels. Flame Dash now has 80% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 140% at gem level 20, previously 140 at all gem levels. Flame Dash of Return now has 150% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 270% at gem level 20, previously 270% at all gem levels. Flamethrower Trap now has 15% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 30% at gem level 20, previously 30% at all gem levels. Flash and Stone no longer causes enemies to be blinded while in Sand Stance, or causes you to take less damage from attacks from enemies that aren't nearby while in Sand Stance. It also no longer causes nearby enemies to be maimed while in Blood Stance, and no longer causes enemies maimed by this skill to take increased physical damage. It now has nearby enemies take up to 10% more physical damage from hits while in Blood Stance at gem level 1, scaling up to 20% at gem level 20. Take up to 10% less damage from nearby enemies while in Sand Stance at gem level 1, scaling up to 19% at gem level 20. These effects are strongest on enemies closest to you and scale down to no effect on the edge of the aura. Makes sense. The idea is for you to be up close and personal, so yeah. Flicker Strike now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, scaling up to 8 at gem level 20, previously 10 at all gem levels. Now has 177% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 142%, scaling up to 408% at gem level 20, previously 210%. Where's the comrade guy on YouTube that always makes Flicker Strikes build? Bro, this guy's like, ooh, this guy's gooning right now. This guy is going absolutely ballistic. Freezing Pulse now has 250% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 330% at gem level 20, previously 330% at all gem levels. Frenzy now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 10 at all gem levels. Frenzy of Onslaught now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 10 at all gem levels. Now has 162% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 115%, scaling up to 353% at gem level 20, previously 135%. Frost Blades for the Berserker mains no longer has added cold damage at all gem levels. Now it has 143% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 110%, scaling up to 490% at gem level 20, previously 225%. Now has mana cost of 6 at level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Frostblades of Catabasis now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Frost Bomb now has 170% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 310% at gem level 20, previously 310 at all gem levels. Frost Bomb of Forthcoming now has 170% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 310% at gem level 20, previously 310 at all gem levels. Frost Bomb of Instability now has 140 effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 260% at gem level 20, previously 260% at all gem levels. Frost Blink now has 180% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 250% at gem level 20, previously 250 at all gem levels. Frostblink of Wintry Blast now has 150% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 200% at gem level 20, previously 200 at all gem levels. Frostblink of Winter Blast now has 150% effectiveness of added damage gem level 1, scaling up to 200% at gem level 20, previously 200% at all gem levels. Let me pause the recording here real quick. I have to check on something. Alright, I was just checking how much I had left from the patch notes, and oh, there's still a lot. Oh, that's a lot. That's a fucking lot. Alright. Frostbolt now has 250% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 360% at gem level 20. Previously 300% at all gem levels. Quality now provides projectiles that have pierced deal 0 to 20% more damage. Previously 0 to 20% increased cold damage. I mean, if you add more elements to it, maybe. Frozen Legion. Frozen Sweep now has 194% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 170%, scaling up to 332% at gem level 20, previously 281%. Frozen Legion of Rallying. Frozen Sweep now has 180% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 80%, scaling up to 184% at gem level 20, previously 135%. Galvanic Arrow no longer has added lightning damage at all gem levels. It now has 92% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 80%, scaling up to 113% at gem level 20, previously 99%. Galvanic Field now has a 60% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 100% at gem level 20, previously 100% at all gem levels. Galvanic Field of Intensity now has a 190% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling to 320% at gem level 20, previously 320% at all gem levels. General's Cry. Supporter skills now deal 60% less damage at gem level 1, previously 45%, scaling up to 51% at gem level 20, previously 36%. Glacial Cascade of the Fissure now has 110% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 130% at gem level 20, previously 130% at all gem levels. Glacial Hammer no longer has cold damage added against chilled enemies at all gem levels. It now has 218% effectiveness of damage and added damage. Sorry. Glacial Hammer no longer has cold damage added against chilled enemies at all gem levels. It now has 218% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 165%, is scaling up to 622% at gem level 20, previously 269%. Now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. No longer has plus 0.2 meters of melee strike range. This is a buff. Motherfucker. This is a buff. God, I hate it so much. Fuck off, Mark. I love you. Glacial Hammer of Shattering no longer has cold damage. For fuck's sake. Glacial Hammer of Shattering no longer has cold damage added against chilled enemies at all gem levels. It now has 218% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 165%, scaling up to 622% at gem level 20, previously 269%. Nice. What the fuck? Now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. No longer has 0.2 plus 0.2 meters to melee strike range. Holy fuck. Grace now provides you and nearby allies gain 136 additional evasion rating at gem level 1, previously 227, scaling up to 1,545 at gem level 20, previously 2,575. Ground Slam now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, scaling up to 11 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Now has 132% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 115%, scaling up to 356% at gem level 20, previously 180%. Man, legit, they're like, okay, which melee skills are weak? Double their fucking damage, triple the damage, fuck it. Fuck it. Honestly, based. Ground Slam of Earth Shaking now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, scaling up to 14 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 241% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 210%, scaling up to 688 at gem level 20, previously 340. Jesus fuck. Hatred no longer has causes you and nearby allies to deal more cold damage. You and nearby allies now gain 30% of physical damage as extra cold damage at gem level 1, previously 16%, scaling up to 39 at gem level 20, previously 25%. This ends up nerfing like these elemental aura gems, Hatred, Wrath, and the other one, the lightning one. They end up nerfing the Inquisitor cock build because you don't deal physical damage with the lightning weapon from the gem. You deal exclusively lightning damage plus other, cold elemental, whatever the fuck, but you don't have any inherent physical damage. So this is a very non-irrelevant nerf because that aura would give you like a 1.5 million damage to the build. It was a lot of fucking damage. Not anymore. Heavy Strike now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 12 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem level. No, it's not Wrath, sorry, it's Anger, right? Yeah, Hatred, Anger, and Wrath. I think that's it. Whatever, fuck it, doesn't matter. Heavy Strike now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 12 at gem level 20, previously 5 at all gem levels. No longer has plus 0.2 meters to melee strike range or knocks enemies back on hit. Now has 224% effectiveness of base damage added at now has 224% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 195%, scaling up of 552 at gem level 20, previously 313%. Bro, Hillock is so fucked. Legit, Hillock is so goddamn fucked. Herald of Ash. Buff no longer grants more spell fire damage. The buff now grants 15% of your physical damage as extra fire damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 20% at gem level 20, previously 15% at all gem levels. Hex Blast now has 300% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 340% at gem level 20, previously 300% at all gem levels. Hydrosphere now has 65% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 110% at gem level 20, previously 110% at all gem levels. Ice Crash now has a mana cost of 10 at gem level 1, scaling up to 14 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Now has 332% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 230%, scaling up to 611% gem level 20, previously 350%. Ice Crash of Cadence now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, scaling up to 100 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Now has 249% effectiveness of base damage and added damage at gem level 1, previously 170%, scaling up to 458% at gem level 20, previously 250%. Ice Nova now has a 200% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 230% at gem level 20, previously 230% at all gem levels. So yeah, but what I'm gathering here, all spells now have a scaling of damage increase, yeah. Ice Shot no longer has added cold damage at all gem levels. It now has 149% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 130%, scaling up to 200% at gem level 20, previously 174%. Small buff, nice. Ice Shot of Penetration now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, unchanged, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 12. Okay. Bringing line to everything else, I guess. Ice Trap now has 230% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 290% at gem level 20. Previously 290% at all gem levels. Fuck, what time is it? Shit. Ice Trap of Hollowness now has 280% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 340% at gem level 20, previously 340% at all gem levels. Icicle Burst granted by the Chimera's Avarice unique mace now has 150% effectiveness of base and added damage, previously 100%. Infernal Blow no longer has added fire damage at all gem levels. It now has 164% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 104%, scaling up to 377% at gem level 20, previously 166. Now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Where's the bar here? Almost in half. Okay. Almost an half. I've been guys. I've been recording for like 2 hours and a half now. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Holy shit. Yeah, it's been around the time that I thought it was gonna be, that it was gonna take like around 4 hours and a half to like record everything. I most likely will cut this in half. I'll probably like finish reading the skill patch notes, cut the video, and post another one because my internet here is really fucking bad. So it's gonna take a fucking eternity to upload this shit. All right. Infernal Blow of Immolation no longer has added fire damage at all gem levels. It now has 164% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 104%, scaling up to 377% at gem level 20, previously 166. Now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Infernal Cry no longer cover enemies in ash, causing them to move slower and take increased fire damage. The user and nearby allies now gain a buff that grants a portion of their physical damage as extra fire damage. The buff grants 5% of physical damage as extra fire damage per 5 power and can count a maximum of 25 power. Now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, previously 15, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 19. It has a base duration of 2.5 seconds at gem level 1, previously 5, scaling up to 3.4 seconds at gem level 20, previously 5.9. Combust now has 136% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 100, scaling up to 234% at gem level 20, previously 158%. Intimidating Cry no longer grants a buff that lowers the effect of enemy physical damage reduction against your hits. The user and nearby allies now gain a buff that grants movement speed. Buff grants 3% increased movement speed per 5 power and can count a maximum of 30 power. It has a base duration of 2.5 seconds at gem level 1, previously 4, scaling up to 3.4 at gem level 20, previously 4.9. Kinetic Blast now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, previously 15, scaling up to 9 at gem level 20, previously 16. Now has an attack speed of 150% of base, previously 100. It also now has increases and reductions to spell damage, also applied to attack damage from this skill at 200% of their value. Okay. Kinetic Blast of Cuttering now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, previously 15, scaling up to 9 at gem level 20, previously 16. Now has an attack speed of 115 of base, previously 100%. It also now has increases and reductions to spell damage, also applied to attack damage from this skill at 200% of their value. It's the switcheroo. Kinetic Bolt now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, previously 6, scaling up to 9 at gem level 20, previously 10. Now has 160% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 140, scaling up to 220% at gem level 20, previously 175%. Kinetic Bolt of Fragmentation now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, previously 6, scaling up to 9 at gem level 20, previously 10. Now has 60% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 55%, scaling up to 85% at gem level 20, previously 70%. Lacerate no longer has added attack physical damage at all gem levels. It now has 171% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 100, scaling up to 393% at gem level 1, previously 154. Now has a mana cost of 10 at gem level 1, scaling up to 17 at gem level 20, previously 8 at all gem levels. Lacerate of Butchering Now has a mana cost of 16 at gem level 1, scaling up to 25 at gem level 20, previously 12 at all gem levels. Now has 273% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 200, scaling up to 629% at gem level 20, previously 310%. Lacerate of Hemorrhage no longer has physical damage added against bleeding enemies at all gem levels. It now has 150% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 80%, scaling up to 346% at gem level 20, previously 120%. Now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Lancing Steel no longer has added attack physical damage to all gem levels. It now has 110% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 63%, scaling up to 175% at gem level 20, previously 106%. Now has a mana cost of 9 at gem level 1, previously 8. Scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 10. Sorry about that. Leap Slam now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 10 at all gem levels. Now has 136% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 100, scaling up to 340% at gem level 20, previously 150%. Leap Slam viable as an actual damaging skill, Lamau. Leap Slam of Groundbreaking now has a mana cost of 9 at gem level 1, scaling up to 14 at gem level 20, previously 10 at all gem levels. It now has a 286% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 210, scaling up to 660 at gem level 20, previously 320%. Ground Leap Slam, unironically, as the main skill. Just go jumping like fucking Mario. Lightning Arrow no longer has added lightning damage at all gem levels. It now has 149% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 130%. Scaling up to 177 at gem level 20, previously 155%. Now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 11. Let me check another thing real quick. Okay, we are almost there with the gem balances. Let's fucking go. We are almost. Lightning Strike of Arcing no longer has added lightning damage at all gem levels. It now has 164% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 110%, scaling up to 377% at gem level 20, previously 200. Now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Lightning Tendrils now has a 70% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 130% at gem level 20, previously 130 at all gem levels. Lightning Tendrils of Eccentricity now has 30% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 60% at gem level 20, previously 60% at all gem levels. Lightning Tendrils of Escalation now has 80% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 150% at gem level 20, previously 150% at all gem levels. Molten Burst, granted by an Igamahu Flame Unique X, now has 170% effectiveness of base and added damage, previously 115%. That's the pronunciation, right? Gamahu Flame? Or Ingamahu? I can't remember, man. I'm sorry for botching the New Zealandish, the language of the Maori. I'm so sorry about it. Where was it again? Show. Molten Shell now has a level requirement of 16. Oh, previously 4, so that's Act 2 already. And a strength requirement of 41, previously 16 at gem level 1, and is unchanged at gem level 20. As a result of this level requirement change, the buff now grants plus 115 to armor at gem level 1, previously plus 50, and is unchanged at gem level 20. Molten Strike no longer has added fire damage at all gem levels. It now has 126% effectiveness of base and added damage at level 1, previously 110%, scaling up to 329% at gem level 20, previously 185%. Now has a mana cost of 6 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. No longer has plus 0.2 to plus 0.6 meters to melee strike range. Melee. Molten Strike of the Zenith now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 10 at all gem levels. Now has 92% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 85%, scaling up to 239% at gem level 20, previously 130%. No longer has plus 0.2 to plus 0.6 meters to melee strike range. Shout out for using metrics and not imperial. God, I fucking love New Zealand. Orb of Storms now has 80% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 110% at gem level 20, previously 110% to all gem levels. Penance Brand now has 470% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 570% at gem level 20, previously 570% at all gem levels. Penance Brand of Conduction now has 95% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 110% at gem level 20, previously 110% at gem level 20. Penance Brand of Dissipation now has 45% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 50% at gem level 20, previously 50% of all gem levels. Perforate no longer has added attack physical damage at all gem levels. It now has 218% effectiveness of base and added damage at gems level 1, previously 155%, scaling up to 622% at gem level 20, previously 265%. Holy fuck, huge increase. Now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Perforate of Bloodshed no longer has added attack physical damage at all gem levels. It now has 87% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 60%, scaling up to 245% at gem level 20, previously 85%. Now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Perforate of Duality no longer has attack physical damage at all gem levels. Now it has 18% of effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 155%, scaling up to 622 at gem level 20, previously 265%. Now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 13 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Pestilence Strike no longer has added chaos damage at all gem levels. It now has 257% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 125%, scaling up to 472% at gem level 20, previously 160%. Now has a mana cost of 7 at gem level 1, scaling up to 10 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Poisonous Concoction now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 9 at gem level 20, unchanged. Now has 30 to 44 added chaos damage at gem level 1, previously 2639, with values of 716 to 1073 at gem level 20, previously 622 to 937. So, I really liked the Poisonous Concoction build until it got, until the gem got the nerf. And the damage buffs are good, but it doesn't inherently unfuck what is fucking the gem, which is the amount of charges or flask charges that it eats. Maybe the next one. Poisonous Concoction of Bouncing now has a 30 to 44 added chaos damage at gem level 1, previously 26 to 39, with values of 716 to 1073 at gem level 20, previously 622 to 933. Power Siphon now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 9 at gem level 20, previously 11. Now has an attack speed of 115 of base, previously 100%. Increases in reduction of to spell damage now applied to attack damage from this skill at 100%, 150% of their value. Power Siphon of the Archmage now has a mana cost of 5 at gem level 1, previously 7, scaling up to 9 at gem level 20, previously 11. Now has an attack speed of 115% base, previously 100%. Increases and reductions to spell damage now also apply to attack damage from this skill at 150% of their value. Puncture no longer has added attack physical damage at all gem levels. It now has 168% effectiveness of base and added damage at gem level 1, previously 135%, scaling up to 205% at gem level 20, previously 165%. Now has a mana cost of 8 at gem level 1, scaling up to 14 at gem level 20, previously 6 at all gem levels. Purifying Flame now has 220% effectiveness of added damage at gem level 1, scaling up to 300% at gem level 20, previously 300 at all gem levels. Alright, boys and girls, here's the deal. I wanted to get until the finish line of the gem changes, but my throat is on a very deplorable condition right now, so it's not gonna happen. I will see if I can do this. I will finish this. I will finish this, but tomorrow, after I'm rested. And I will post a second, maybe a third video of this one, but I'm gonna do this. So, I don't know if anybody stayed up to this point because this is like pure fucking lunacy, but to anyone who did, thank you very much. I'm gonna continue with this tomorrow. See you soon and stay sane, Exile.